Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Morale Booster with John Ughulu. And today I have with me another very interesting guest, a man with so much experience, a man whose experience he would like to share with others. And he's no other person but Shams Arifeen. Shams, thank you for joining me on the program.
Thank you for having me, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure having you here. Okay, before I give Mike the opportunity to speak to you guys, I just want to remind you all, for those of you listening to this program, for those of you watching on YouTube, remember to share this message. Remember to share this video, like, share, and subscribe, because you might just be saving that one person who has been waiting the entire life to hear this message. Please do share. Thank you. So Shams, thank you once again for your patience. My listeners are more than eager to hear from you. So can you please tell us who you are and what you do?
Fantastic. My name is Shams Arifeen, just like, it's been said. And I was like a motivational speaker, and I was a trainer, and I was a teacher, and I started my career as like a teacher. And then over a period of time, I learned and practiced by listening to the great speakers like, Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and all these people. And then I started thinking about, this is something that I would like to do. And I saw that in myself, that I have those seeds and I have that ability that I can speak and I can talk, just like these great inspirers. So I decided that I should get into that business. So
Okay.
I lived pretty much like 25 years, in Pakistan. I just moved here recently. And when I looked at it, I decided that this is something that I would like to pursue.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. That's a great one. And you just mentioned some great names out there.
Right.
And you and I happen to have been trained also by one of the greatest in the world. That's
Yeah,
no
that's
other person
true.
but Les Brown.
Yes. Les
Yes.
is always like a person who's like, I can always, think him as a mentor. And, people like John Tallarico,
Right.
another great name, we're kind of very blessed to have, some kind of training from them and learning. And I think we can do wonders.
Exactly. John Tallarico is a great man. I have learned so much from John Tallarico and Les Brown. Having them as a personal coach means a lot to me. And I know a lot of people out there are still yet to discover the importance of having a coach or a mentor, that person who you've always wanted to be like. So that's the essence of this program. That's why I brought you on board,
Thank you.
to share your stories, to let my listeners, to let those people who have not come to realization that coaching and mentoring is paramount in life, And I do appreciate the job you are doing, passing your ideas, your knowledge to the future generations. So what actually motivated you to become a trainer, a speaker?
Just like I said, I started as like a teacher, and the job of the teacher is, and I was a kind of a person who was not like a regular teacher,
Okay.
going and talking about things that like in the textbooks and all that. I
Right.
was the kind of teacher who was like giving more information to students and motivating them and bringing, and changing their feeling and their ideas and the way of looking and seeing things in a different perspective rather than in a monotonous way. And just like Les Brown always talks about Mr. Washington, that how he did intervention into his life, and that is something that where I see myself, that I would like to do some intervention into the lives of others so that they can bring a bigger change into themselves and become more creative,
Right.
and in achieving their goals rather than, looking into like, one side and not expanding themselves.
Right. Right. That's a good one. It's a lovely one. So what challenges have you faced, while developing your training skills? Well, when you first started, what were the challenges you faced? Because I know there are so many people out there who would really want to be speakers, who would want to be trainers, but they do not know how to go about it. They
Right.
don't know, probably some people feel they don't have what it takes to be on the stage or in front of an audience, but they know they have something deep down in them that needs
Right.
to be said. So,
Yeah, John, I think the first thing that we need to, whatever we are doing in life, the first thing is that we have to face the fears. The fears are always there. Even a person like Les Brown says, if he goes to like a big place or a big auditorium, he still gets the goosebumps and all that.
yeah, he
So
said when
we,
he's there, he doesn't want you to talk to him.
yeah,
Let him, he wants to focus and listen.
right. So I think that goes with everyone. I don't see that, I remember that there was a time that I was kind of, I started, going onto a bigger platform, and that started scaring me. So, these things are natural. So what is again, I'm talking about Les Brown because he's kind of mentor and coach. He says there, if this is like an African saying that if there are no fears inside, there is no fear outside. So
Exactly.
we have to start working on those fears, and I think that one part of your answer is that, working on the fears, and the second part I would say, like you said, that the message that I would talk to the people is that uh, people have to really know that if something that they really want, that because if this is something that is like gives you an interest in, that is exactly what you want to do, then
Right.
I would say pursue your dreams
Right.
and go for it. So
Right.
my message is that, look into yourself and see if this is something that you really want,
Right.
and if this is something that you would like to pursue. I mean, there are people who have, like, looking at Bill Gates, he
Yeah.
always wanted to do, the software thing. Look at the great people like Alibaba, you
Yeah.
know, a guy who is doing great, So these people have already in them, that the idea that, and they discover that what exactly they want to do in life, and then they pursue that, their dreams.
Right. Right. That's a very good one. Now the reason why I asked you that question is because I happen to be one of those people prior to making up my mind to become a speaker. From time immemorial, I was that, while growing up, I was that young man who had a lot of energy inside of me. I had the ability to command an audience. I had the ability to speak, and, my friends, my peers, they would pay attention. But for some reasons, I don't know where it started or how it started or even when it started, a kind of, self-confidence issue just immediately took over. I started finding it difficult to even go on the stage and give a toast from nowhere. So why I'm saying this is that I know there are so many people out there like me who know deep down within them that they have a big message, a great message to share. But for one reason or the other, the self-confidence issues is not allowing them fulfill their destiny. It's not allowing them achieve their dreams.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, John, I think that some people are destined for that. I would say that no matter what, if this is something that is what they have to do, then somehow the other, the nature makes the circumstances, even if they don't make those,
Right.
and they just come and they rise.
Right.
And those people who have the power and the courage, or if they don't have the courage and the thinking of fears and all that, then it's not going to be easy for them. They
Right.
have to fight their fears.
Right.
And I think that's what something that is very important. I would like to tell them that, hey, if this is something that you really want to do,
Yeah.
then focus on the message, not the messenger.
Right.
So focus on the message.
So if you're listening, he said, focus on the message, not the messenger. That's it. That's a good one.
Right, that to start with.
Yeah.
And then once you have the command of what you want to deliver, then focus at your audience. That is the second step.
Right.
And then look at the audience and see what are their interests, what is it they like, and what is they want to hear, and how you can motivate them, and how can you give them the power and the challenge and all that, so that they can rise. So that is the second step.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you so much for that.
Sure.
To my listeners out there, Richard Branson said, if your dream does not scare you, then it is too small. So when you are embarking on a journey, when you have decided to chase your dreams, your goals, those goals might scare you at a point. Limiting beliefs might come in that would want to make you feel these goals are just too big for me. No, it's not meant for me. But the moment you can beat that fear barrier, the moment you can tell yourself that if it's not big enough, then it's not worth doing, then the sky will be your starting point. So remember, in life, we go through a lot of things that would want to stop us. For example, you might even have people in your household trying to talk you out of your dreams, because it is you alone who sees where you're going. It is you alone who has the vision. Other people cannot see where you are going. In fact, if people know where you're going, it means that dream is not big enough. It is people who did uncommon things that changed the world. So whatever your dreams are, don't worry about people not understanding it. With time, they will. Just stay focused on your goals, and that's it. Am I right, Shams?
That is perfectly right. That's exactly how it should be.
Okay. So my next question to you now is, we know things have actually changed in the world right now. The pandemic has changed everything. So now that we have a paradigm shift, how do you intend to propel your business to the next level?
I think the first thing that I would like to speak about is about the paradigm. And the paradigm is that the state of mind, it is the state of thinking, it is the process in our mind that we have to understand that what that paradigm is.
Yeah.
So most of our thinking and negative beliefs develops our paradigm.
Yes.
And no matter what, if we have like a calamity, or if we have disaster, or if there's situation. I have seen the other day that there came a hurricane in a certain place, and then the people start coming together and putting things together. So that's a state of mind that people are, that we got to make it better, we got to develop it, so it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, or whatever this is. So if we let our circumstances control us, so then we are not in control. So
Right.
we got to be in control. So in order to be in control, we need to overcome our circumstances.
Right.
There are people who have already talked about it. That the courage that you have to show it to the people, so that I can do it, and then you can do it.
Right. Right. That's true.
Right.
That's a good one. Okay, so now what about people who have lost loved ones due to the pandemic? What's your, can you just share some? Because I know definitely we have so many people listening to us right now that fall into this category. They've lost a loved one, they've lost friends. So can you just give us some inspiring words that would help them look beyond what has just happened, that would help them look beyond their predicament?
Yeah, John, I'm really sorry for the people who have lost their loved ones, and it's not very easy. It's like saying is easy, but when you are thinking about the people that you love, the people that you live with, the people that, you're looking to envision your future with, and the
Right.
people that you want to, you're enjoying and you're happy and you're sharing. And when you lose them, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a very tough situation. But then we have to think about, and I personally think about like a situation, okay, uh, the people who have passed us, we have to kind of be positive about them and not bring them into our negative vibes,
Right.
rather than start a contribution on their behalf, thinking, taking their life in front of us, and creating something. So I would say if we start creating, and let's say like some organization we can create in their names, and so that they can live in our heart and in our memories, and work towards that, so that they 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 feel, and they're looking at us, and they see that, if I was there in that world, I probably wouldn't have created that big of a thing that these people are doing it for me. So I
Right.
think that we got to stay positive, and be creating something positive, rather than killing our own self and putting ourselves into depression and into that situation where we become patient,
Right.
rather than doing something for the rest of the world.
Right. Right. Okay. That's a good one. Thank you. And once again, to my listeners, I want to share this quote with you, and it's by Franklin D. Roosevelt. It said, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself." We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Now, the paradigm shift, the pandemic right now has caused a lot of panic. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people have lost loved ones. But I want you all to remember that those people who are gone no longer feel any form of pain, no form of suffering. They are resting in peace. We understand how hurtful it may be. But at this point in your life, you have to take charge of your own life. You have to take good care of your own self. And always remember that those whom we have lost will be smiling when they see that we can carry on. We can use this energy to do good for ourselves and our communities. So I want you to forge ahead. Think about what you can do to help your community. Think about what you can do to help other people who are distressed. Think about what you can do to make the world a better place. And those gestures can be named after those people you have lost. It is not easy. Life itself is not easy. It is a journey. Everybody, every human being, every living thing has a death sentence on its neck. But it is just that we don't know the time. We don't know how. But while we're living in this borrowed life, it is important that you continue to do things that are beneficial to the world at large. Like my mentor and coach, Les Brown, would say, live full and die empty.
Right. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, so Shams, thank you once
Yeah.
again. It's a
Sure.
pleasure having you on the program. I have one very last concern and question I would want you to address, because
Sure.
I've been getting lots of messages from people about that. So I would want you, you have a lot of experience. So I want you to touch on that. It's a very important issue. Now, this is it. There are so many people out there who think because they are immigrants, because they have an accent, because they are from a different background, they feel they have limitations to the things they can do in terms of career, in terms of business, in terms of even relationships. So I know you have experience. So I want you
Right.
to help us, talk to these people, let them know
Yeah.
that life is beyond having an accent. Life, I'm an immigrant.
Right.
Yeah, so I want
Right.
you to
Right.
talk to people.
I I think this is a very good. You just hit it right on one of my past stories that I have. When I came to US, I landed like in California, and I was sharing an apartment. And in that apartment building, there was this old lady. I just noticed one day that she was like taking, really long time getting down the stairs and all that. And I felt it not very good. Back home we have a system where we like take care of our elders and stuff like
Right.
that. So I learned that people used to call her Mama. So I just approached her and I said, Mama, I can help you. Where are you going? And we started, talking to each other. And I was then the person who was helping Mama. And she was from Greece, and she had that thick accent, you
Accent,
know,
right? Yeah.
and then she used to say "Khe, khe," and all that kind of the way that they
Right.
speak that. That was very interesting. So I had accent myself, and I still have that, and that is like that holds you back. So I remember that, Mama, and we were kind of getting along, and Mama was making spinach for me and all that kind of stuff. So one day, Mama was so happy. She said, I know someone here, from Greece, some name like Dimitri, or I don't know,
Right.
was like a director in Hollywood. And since at that time I still have long hair. So I was looking like, a different person.
Right.
So she said, I think that you can go into Hollywood and you can become an actor and that sort of thing. So and I had this my negative beliefs about myself
Right.
because I was not having a proper job. I didn't have enough money and all that. And so I was so full of negativity, I was not thinking like that. So she took me to this director. And so I met this guy, and he said, Mr. Shams, you have to make your composites, and you have to make your pictures so that we can pass it on to some agents that we want to see how photogenic you are and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And on the way back, the negative thoughts, just like Les Brown talks about, they started creeping into me, and they're saying, oh, Shams, you're not good enough, you have an accent,
Right.
you can do it. And I talked myself out of that. And there was a time that I had that opportunity that I could have, I have met this director and could be, in Hollywood, and you would be seeing me like right now with Tom Cruise or someone. But I talked myself out of it, and I lost that opportunity. And that's what I say to the audience and the people, that don't worry about the accent.
Right.
The accent is something that we can always practice. In Native Americans, they say that there are certain alphabets that you can't even pronounce unless you're born there.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you're born. It doesn't matter how you speak. Uh, the important thing is that, are you giving that feeling? Are you giving that touch? Are you giving that emotion? And are you talking heart to heart to the people?
Right.
And if that is the connection that you learn to make, a heart to heart connection, that is the people that would probably think about it, and they would not worry about, I don't care about when people are talking that I'm looking at their accent. I'm rather focusing
On
on
the
the kind of message that they are
right.
giving.
Right. That's true.
So
That's a good one. Shams is a man with experience in that area. I also, I'm one with an accent. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I always see people who get discouraged because of their accents. And those are convictions that when they creep in, it's always difficult to let go of those convictions. And especially if you have people who do not inspire you. Now, in every message or every story, every human being is looking for that story that would resonate with their thinking, that would resonate with their mindset. But having that accent and making your story resonate with somebody would make that story stick for a lifetime because it is unique. It is a story that came out of a unique accent, and that person will never forget you. So I want you to know that having an accent is golden.
And John, I would like to add something here very quickly. I remember I was talking about Mama,
Right.
and one day, I was standing right next to Mama, and she wanted to tell me something, really important. And like I said, Mama had a thick accent, and
Right.
sometimes it was kind of, you have to really pay attention to, understand that.
Right.
So one day, I was standing there, and Mama was saying something, and she goes like, I want my son, I want you to write it down, or that's how she was kind of talking about. And I said, go ahead, Mama, that's okay. I'm listening. I can remember that.
Right.
And she said at that time, she said, scripta mana vola verba. Anything that you write, that stays. Anything that you say goes in the air.
Right.
So that I just thought to share that story with you.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. Yeah, you see, the accent is golden. A lot of people are used to a particular way of doing things. But when they come across that different way, that different method, that different delivery, it sticks faster because it's easier for you to remember. So if you've been holding yourself back, if you've been delaying your destiny because of you having an accent, I want to remind you, there is a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. So it is never too late for you to realign with your true purpose in life and start chasing your dreams. Forget about the accent. The accent is what will take you to the level you never expected. So do not
Exactly. Yeah. John, I mean, they say that the words come from the heart, goes to the heart.
Right.
So something that, I have seen people with accent, but it is like how you connect. So I would say in my ending part, I'm sorry I'm intervening here, but
No, it's
I
all
would,
right. It's you're
yeah,
free.
I would say that uh, pay attention to getting connected to the people. That is the most important. It is the feeling, it is the emotion, it is something that comes out of you that people pay attention to that. And
Right.
I have seen that, the other day I was watching a program at Opera, and there was this lady, she was talking about, how difficult, it was her time, when she was, her father was dealing with the Nazis and all that, and she had gone through all that pain. And this person who has written a book on that, and she had a thick accent, but while Oprah was talking to the audience, and it was, and I was focused on her story, not on her accent. So
Right.
I would say, people, don't focus on your accent. Please come out of that.
Right.
Come out of that fear. Focus on the message.
Right.
That is important.
That's true. Everybody likes to listen to a story they've never heard.
Right.
Okay, that's a lovely one. I like that. So, Shams, I really do appreciate the fact that you took time out of your busy schedule to come on this program. And to my listeners and my
Thank you for
viewers,
having me.
yeah, my pleasure. And to my listeners and my viewers, Shams is a master trainer. He is a trainer on leadership. And if you have any challenges, any questions whatsoever, you can always reach out to him on his social media platform. Shams, what social media platforms are you on?
I use usually Facebook, and I use Instagram, and people always send me. LinkedIn is the one that I have like 25,000 followers that
Okay.
follow me.
Okay.
And Shams, SHAMSC trainer at gmail.com is where people can ask me questions.
Awesome.
So
Okay,
yeah.
that's a good one. So if you feel there is any way Shams can be of help to you, please reach out to him. And I assure you, he is absolutely good at what he does. He would
Thank you.
inspire you. He would
Thank you.
He would teach you how to come out of your shell. He will teach you what good leadership is all about. All right. And one other thing, remember to share this video, because you might just be saving a life of just that one person who has been waiting the entire life to listen to this message. So thank you all for listening. And I promise to bring more programs that will be so beneficial to you all. Thank you once again, Shams, for joining me, and have a great rest
You're
of
very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.